Hi, my name is Muhammad Zulfikri bin Jeffrey. I'm taking information system. My student ID is 22005960, and this is my assignment 2 for curriculum outdoor recreation. And the assignment is about we learn 6 type of knotting in our class. For the first is the reef knot. This is the most basic knot and is used to tie two ropes together. To tie a reef knot, first cross the ends of the rope over each other, then bring the right end over the left end and tuck it under the left end. Finally, bring the left end over the right end and tuck it under the right end. The reef knot is a strong knot that is easy to untie. Second one is single sheet bend knot. This knot is used to tie two ropes of different diameters together. To tie a single sheet bend knot, first make a loop in one rope, then pass the end of the other rope through the loop and around the standing part of the first rope. Finally, bring the end of the second rope back through the loop and tighten the knot. The single sheet bend knot is a strong knot that is easy to untie. Next one is the double sheet bend knot. This knot is a variation of the single sheet bend knot that is even stronger. To tie a double sheet bend knot, first make a loop in one rope, then pass the end of the other rope through the loop twice. Once around the standing part of the first rope and once around the loop itself. And finally, bring the end of the second rope back through the loop and tighten the knot. The double sheet bend knot is a very strong knot that is difficult to untie. As you can see, I'm trying to tighten a bit, and you will see this type of double sheet bend knot is really hard to untie. And yep, that is pretty done. Trying to making up a bit of the tie, and done. Moving on to the next one is single bowline knot. This knot is used to create a loop in a rope that will not slip. To tie a single bowline knot, first make a loop in the rope with the end of the rope passing under the standing part of the rope, then pass the end of the rope back through the loop from the bottom. Finally, bring the end of the rope up through the loop from the top and tighten the knot. The single bowline knot is a very secure knot that is easy to untie. Done. Next part is a double bowline knot. This knot is a variation of the single bowline knot that is even more secure. To tie a double bowline knot, first make a loop in the rope with the end of the rope passing under the standing part of the rope twice, then pass the end of the rope back through the loop from the bottom. Finally, bring the end of the rope up through the loop from the top and tighten the knot. So for this type of the double bowline knot is a very secure knot that is difficult to untie. And that is the double no-line knot. So this is a clawfish knot. You need to find something that you can grab into. For this one, I'm just using the type of glue. This knot is used to attach a rope to fixed object. To tie a clawfish knot, first make a loop in the rope with the end of the rope passing under the standing part of the rope. Then pass the end of the rope around the object and back through the loop. Finally, tighten the knot by pulling on the standing part of the rope. The clawfish knot is a secure knot that is easy to untie. Next part is figure of 8 knot. This knot is used to create a loop in rope that will not slip. To tie a figure of 8 knot, first make a loop in the rope with the end of the rope passing under the standing part of the rope twice. Then pass the end of the rope back through the loop from the bottom. Finally, bring the end of the rope through the loop from the top. The figure 8 knot is a very secure knot that is difficult to untie. And this is the last part, which is figure of 8 loop. This knot is a variation of the figure of 8 knot that creates a loop that can be easily opened and closed. To tie a figure of 8 loop, first make a figure of 8 knot in the rope, then pass the end of the rope through the loop from the bottom, and finally bring the end of the rope up through the loop from the top and tighten the knot. The figure of 8 loop is a secure knot that is easy to use for us. And that's it for my assignment. Hopefully I can give you a clear tutorial, and thank you so much for watching.